eventually. Sorry.
Flip has been far too silent of late. He first informs the InvestFest audience that he no longer performs skits. You are all aware of the ones where he is constantly fighting. A week later, he finds himself in the center of a brawl during Brooklyn's Labor Day parade. He had a bandage on his hand when he first arrived at the pod. Joe's birthday was missed by him. And now, these straightforward tweets regarding his finances. As you begin to piece things together, you may begin to see a picture that goes beyond a simple parade altercation, so stay tight for a few Chatterbox family theories.
I ain't gonna hit you with a prank, man. How you doing? How you doing?
Prank? Why would you do a prank?
I know you do.
I don't do pranks, bro.
You so foolish.
Now, the pod is experiencing another issue before any of this. As is well known, Melissa Ford vanishes on the August 22nd episode and hasn't been seen since. I'm not implying that the two circumstances are related. Rather, it just illustrates how everyone on that sofa is pushing the envelope while Joe is rising in the wake of the New York Times article and is expected to earn $20 million a year. Everyone seems to be choosing to break up, similar to when guests arrive and the children begin to act off. Oh my God. But let's get back to Flip. He is interacting with the fans while posting in-person videos at InvestFest. Other than what happens immediately after he returns home, nothing out of the ordinary. Flip appears on the pod with a bandage on his hand a few days later. In the August 27th episode, I know exactly what all this means, Flip says after Joe introduces the pod with two important tracks. Then Parks bursts into laughter as he begins to disintegrate. Otis Redding's Sitting on the Dock of the Bay and Ben E. King's Stand By Me are playing as Joe interrupts him. By the way, one of my all-time favorites is Otis Redding. I grew up cleaning on Saturday mornings while listening to his songs. Additionally, you should see the Stax documentary if you haven't already. It's an excellent watch. Rock the Boat is the song that comes after that. No, not the Aaliyah version that most of you are familiar with. This was created in 1973 by the trio known as the Hughes Corporation. I think everything had a certain dance to it. Both Parks and Mark say, "Oh, I see we're on BS today." This one really hits home, says Joe. Thank you to the authors. The birthday discussion on the August 29th program follows. Flip informs Joe that he will not be attending his party when he claims to have other commitments. Joe interrupts him to inquire about Millie, a frequent on QueenzFlip network, when he claims to have other commitments. Flip is now constantly with Millie. It seems a little intriguing that Joe brought that up in the middle of the convention discussion.
Yeah, you're not. This ain't I don't have an RSVP link.
No.
They had this discussion before Joe's birthday party, but keep in mind that everyone was furious because Flip did not show up.
It's nothing to do with that. It's some personal shit that's going on, man. I talked to you about it before when I can't talk about it.
Why would Joe interrupt this conversation to ask this question? Everything was well with Milky when my hand was tied up. Fascinating. Was Joe attempting to get Flip to stop talking about whatever the problem was? Or was that his way of saying, "Don't make me say more words"?
We out here tomorrow. Well, I hope to see you there. If not, then maybe some other people will come.
Was Melissa Ford the person to whom Joe was referring? Let's revisit a previous discussion they had on the pod.
A few you are reserved.
This was referring to the program from August 22nd, where Mel disappeared in the middle of the show. And if you've been following for long enough, you'll notice that Flip is eager to discuss whatever transpired on that pod.
You are crazy.
Why?
Stop.
On August 27th, in between these occurrences, Flip tweets that his account has been placed on pause. You are all aware that, particularly in this economy, that is plenty to push someone over the edge. Furthermore, it seems like the universe is really testing Flip if he has a family, particularly considering how long he has been attempting to stand by his own principles. But he is being tested by the universe. Then, all of a sudden, in the midst of a brawl, the West Indian Day parade in Brooklyn on Labor Day flips. A man passes him and remarks, "You're not famous."
Be safe, man.
How you doing, bro? You all right?
Yo, I ain't gonna lie right now, you not a celebrity.
There is a rumor that this might have been a skit. Additionally, Hip Hop is Real's channel claims that these two had already interacted. Oh my God, he has repeatedly assured us that he is finished with the skits. and Parks even called him out on the pod.
For months, maybe years, talking about how the old thing you used to do, you don't want to be known for anymore.
And I think it's great that they're working with their brother, who's also their pod mate, on this intervention. Because sometimes you need that. You need the outside viewpoint to say, you know, maybe this is how you need to move right now.
Dude is obviously instigating something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he wanted a problem, and you gave him exactly what he wanted.
And I understand. He adores people and the community. However, at his current level, you will only become as large as the fish tank you are in if you don't change. In an attempt to go viral or claim to be the ones who beat the brakes off you, people will push your limits. Because things are unquestionably different now than they were in the past, guys raise these important topics in a couple of other episodes, which I'll incorporate into this clip for you. I hope they don't hit me for it and let it go. However, if they do, they're essentially discussing how social media has encouraged people to act out and do things that will go viral, with the ultimate goal being to get home. Let's pay attention.
Media has taken it to where I could be worldwide as opposed to being local.
And how many times have we witnessed your inability to fall for the ruse?
Same endorphins. It's the same high that you get from hearing your name outside.
Got you.
I
It ain't
remember
no
back in the day, the
difference.
street dudes I used to hang out with would like run and hide if a camera came out.
I've never understood why so many famous people equip their homes with bowling lanes and basketball courts. And everything makes sense now that I've seen this. Even though Joe has certain places that he visits and talks about, things are beginning to make a lot of sense. You cannot remain outside in that manner without security. Flip. What exactly were they doing after all? And I wholeheartedly support attending the parades. They are missed. The music and the food, oh my God. Every year I used to attend the West Indian Day and PR parades. I recall witnessing Brenda K. Starr, La India, Celia Cruz, Big Pun, and Fat Joe. It really was a period, I must say. However, as you age, you come to understand that sometimes being at home is the best option. Do you believe that he is acting out as though he has something to prove because of how many people recognize him from being on the JBP rather than his own network? And in this video, you can see him processing that. This man is streaming what he did with Joe Button, as in, yes, exactly, yes, that's what's going on, dude. You could practically see Flip's entire body of work flashing before his eyes at this precise moment. And you could see him thinking, this isn't why I do what I do. This relates to his desire to spend all of his time outside engaging in IRL. The Labor Day recordings show him just standing in the middle of the road and allowing others to approach him. His security isn't really strict, you know, and that simply illustrates his want to hear his name all the time, to have people cheer him on and to have people talk to him. He enjoys that experience, but he dislikes feeling as though someone is handing him something, such as this video from InvestFest.
You know QueenzFlip? Don't introduce me. Don't introduce me. You know QueenzFlip? Don't introduce me.
Don't introduce me, please. QueenzFlip is introducing me. Don't tell. Flip mentioned that he dislikes this type of thing, but it becomes quite uncomfortable. Observe.
I'm trying to help. You trying to help? See, that's what happened. A black man trying to help.
And not taking anything from anyone is the code that Flip and a lot of us live by. However, you must have a network if you don't realize it, like I did in my advanced use. To make a difference in this world, you need a community and a team. You can't.
Bro, you accept the help. Both. We doing this together.
That you feel every entrepreneur should protect at all costs.
Their pride and dignity. Entrepreneurs should protect their pride and dignity and live by morals and principles. You gotta answer the second.
I really want to stop looking at that frame, but it breaks my heart to do so because while I can see that he doesn't want to owe anyone anything, he is refusing to accept the fact that they are genuinely trying to assist him.
Oh man, what you should protect at all times is relationships. Because when you extend your hand, some people might bite your hand off.
And Flip needs to take in that information. In this world, relationships are crucial, thus he must be motivated to network and establish connections. He is unable to get where he wants to go by himself. Why can't you attempt working with Jerry Springer in our neighborhood if he was able to do it? Establish those connections. What do you believe to be Flip's true situation and the reason behind his actions? Is it self-defeating? Does this reflect his current state of mind on the pod following Labor Day? Flip is lacking in energy. He keeps to himself. He's dismissing everything with I have a lot going on at the moment. Then he becomes excited and starts raving about Ice Spice and Lotto's bodies a lot, even going so far as to say, ISO me? She has a fierce appearance. I'm not used to seeing flips like that on the perch. Perhaps I've missed it previously, which makes me wonder if he's acting out or if something is going on at home. I even observed some of his interactions throughout the procession. Just a few weeks ago, when he was mic'd and at the top of his game, he was providing us with amazing intros. However, it appears that he has completely reverted to his previous behavior. What do you guys believe is happening with him then? Here are a few more pieces from our Chatterbox family. Now the melee Mark described makes sense. Mel and Flip got into a heated argument, and additionally, I believe Mel requested Ian and Joe to release Flip. Flip's refusal to go likely explains the recent problems Joe and Flip have been having. That is supposedly one theory. The second one, in my opinion, is that Flip and she got into a fight and Joe was ordered to let the other go or else I would walk, which he described as a bluff. Now, considering he debuted the pod I was previously discussing with Stand By Me and Rock the Boat, that would make perfect sense. Later, Flip tweets that he's nearly at 1.3 million subscribers. Well done, Flip. I am aware that it requires a great deal of effort. He then tweets again asking, why do you guys always compare other people's experiences or claim that this might have been reversed? Such as my goals or desires, you know? They are the reason I support my co-host so much. Comparison shouldn't be made. The entire cast should be grinding, yo. And I concur. And that relates to what I was saying earlier about how he wants to be independent in his job and is continuously linked to the JBP. That's understandable too. A few days later, he tweets, allow me to ask you a question. I'm dealing with a personal issue. Do you guys think JBP will fire me? Do you folks think I'll just vent my resentment on my co-host? Please be truthful. Now, because he added this has nothing to do with Mel or anyone else, many commenters assumed he was alluding to a scenario that might have occurred up there. My energy is off, as some have noted, but that's because I'm coping with a personal issue. I'm dealing with it and going on. Don't read too much into it then. I'm not sure. We may need to read between the lines because when you start to piece things together, you can see that Mel missed Joe's birthday, the Labor Day fight, the bandaged hand, his cryptic tweets, and his InvestFest behavior. Then there was the less cryptic one about his accounts being frozen. Are these lone occurrences? Or is there more going on with Flip behind the scenes? In addition to the frozen accounts, could it be stress at home? Is it business? In any case, why would you tweet that your money was frozen? There's no denying that Flip's energy shift on the podcast is now more audible than words. Does it reflect his current state of mind? Is Flip just being Flip? And furthermore, what exactly does that mean? Okay, Chatterbox family, that's my opinion. I'll leave it to you at this point. Is something more serious on the horizon, or do you believe Flip is simply going through a difficult time? Who do you believe is actually involved with Flip? You could have your thoughts included in a future video if you leave them in the comments. Let's discuss it. Visit my Patreon, like, share, and subscribe. Till the next occasion.